Prejudice. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to
the show.
Guys. Hello. Hey, Christy there.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey, how are you? Jason
Good.
There.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Welcome to the
Can
show.
I just say, when I was younger, I used to jam to that song so hard.
Oh my God, I know. Isn't it great?
Right? I wasn't gay at all.
Not at all. The message of that song is great, and I love the Love in Vogue. Who doesn't, right? But
Yeah, it's extremely relevant for now, too.
absolutely. And by the way, everybody, if you want to find out more about Jason, Christian, or Donovan, myself, go to GAYXYZ.com and listen to our show there. And soon we'll be on iHeartRadio in a few weeks, as well as other outlets, including iTunes.
Yay!
So just give us a little while, we'll get there. But tonight we're talking about several things we had on our minds. I called this show GRACIAL, or Gracism, because one of the things I came across an article, and I wanted Jason specifically to talk about it because it affects him, I think, the most. Although I've been affected by it by myself. I wanted to talk about this article. Do you want to talk about it, Jason?
Sure. So, there is an article that pretty much says... Hold on, I'm trying to get to it. I got like 11 pages open.
He's on a PC, everybody. Forgive him.
Yeah. Well, look, right before we went on air, I was just having a discussion that my Windows took like 20 minutes to boot. It was the most tragic thing ever. Mm-hmm. But there's an article out stating that there was a situation to where white men are objectifying people of color.
Yeah, right.
When it comes to like different apps or that type of thing.
Well, particularly gay men.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And as far as that goes, it's pretty much they come up. What they're doing is they come up with these messages, whether it's on Grindr or whatever the case may be, that says, you're hot. I think you're so hot for a black guy, or I like big black cock, or either like willing to pay that type of thing,
or not even that. They just assume because
exactly.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's so wrong.
And my thing is that I'm not trying to be sold to the highest bidder on, Grindr or that type of thing. Because I've experienced this too, where someone is like, oh, I was going through the profiles, and I think you're really, really hot for a black guy. Okay, all right, that's number one. That's a problem that I have when you
quote,
say
unquote,
hot for a black guy, because to me it comes off as that you're saying that most black guys are unattractive, or most men of color are unattractive,
right?
And you just happen to slip across my profile, and just like, oh, he's an exception, he's hot, that type of deal. So, and it's just, it always just gets under my skin when I hear people say that, whether it's to any person of color, or if I've heard the same thing say when I've heard women say that to, like, oh, he's so hot for he is such a waste. He is such a waste, girl. It turns out he is gay. He is such a waste. And I'm like, I hate it, and I hate that, because I'm like, bitch, someone's gonna benefit from it. It just ain't gonna be you.
Well, you know what though? When heterosexual, when gay guys or anybody says that, but a white gay guy says you're hot for a black guy or an Hispanic guy or an Asian guy or whatever. When they say that, to me, what I'm actually hearing them say is, oh, I don't want to admit that I might be into a black guy or an Hispanic guy or an Asian guy because it scares me, or it's outside of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? And so they don't want to admit it. So they just say, oh, well, for a black guy, you're hot. And so they have to qualify it. They can't just say you're hot. You're hot. Just say you're hot.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's what really gets under my skin when I hear people say that when it comes to, you're so hot. Even for Asians, they're like, oh, he's so hot for an Asian guy, or he's so hot because he's Hispanic and yada yada. I'm like, let's just us be hot in general. Don't say, oh, he's hot for a black guy,
right?
Or whatever the case may be. That's just like a neighbor of mine, and she's also a friend. She's African American, but she was born with naturally hazel colored eyes.
Me too, yeah.
And she gets that all the time. They were just like, are you black? Mm-hmm. Like they're just so, shocked that they see a black woman with, naturally hazel colored eyes.
Right.
And they were just like, and she's all the time, she was like, if I got $1 for every time I heard someone say if I was actually black or if I was mixed with something, you know, and that type of thing. It's just like...
Well, truthfully, listen, this is the thing. Well, first of all, I'm biracial, so I'm half black, half white, and so it's different for me. But I gotta say, the thing is, when someone is black and they, like, for example, Vanessa Williams is an example. Vanessa Williams, you know, the beauty queen and actress and singer, right? She's drop dead gorgeous. She always has been, I think. And she has those blue, green, hazel eyes, right? And now she's considered African American, and technically she's African American because both of her parents are, but both of her parents actually are both biracial. They're both half white, half black, and so she's actually half white, half black technically. So what I'm saying is, this friend of yours who considers herself black, which she is, black people in America have a lot of white in them. That's just the way it is. It's just mixed in through our culture. So people often say it's because someone's black. Black means a lot of things. It means a lot of different looks and a lot of different things. It's not one look. So, you know, so she just needs to own the fact that she's probably mixed with something else, but it pisses her off, I guess, because she identifies as black, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But I don't, whatever. But but I also wanted to tell you real quickly, a quick story. When I was in my 20s, I told the story for my show a long time ago. I was dating a guy who was this tall, blonde guy, gorgeous, drop dead, beautiful, buff, everything I liked at the time. And he was just yummy, yummy, yummy. And we were dating for a long time. When I was younger, I was much lighter. Like now I look more like I'm like Middle Eastern or or you know, Hispanic, my skin tone. But when I was younger, I was much lighter, and we were dating, and I don't know, we dated for about 6 weeks, and we were at the Village Station. At the time, it was called the Village Station. That's how old I am. It's now called Station 4. And we were there in the back patio with his friends, and we were talking, and they said they made this horrible black joke, okay? And I go, excuse me? And he goes, what? I go, that's not acceptable, especially with me standing right here. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm standing right here. He's like, what are you talking about? And I said, the black joke, it's not acceptable, you know? He's like, so what does it have to do with you? He didn't know that I was half black and half white. He thought I was white at the time. And I told him, I said, I'm half black. He's like, what? You are? And I'm like, yeah. And so we had sex a million times. We had been going out for a long time. And then he stopped calling me. And I called him. Finally, I confronted him in person a couple weeks later after this. And he said, look, I just can't date a black guy. I can't.
Oh, wow.
I'm like,
I've heard that. I've been through that myself.
But I mean, no, listen. I mean, we had dated. We'd had sex. He was attracted to me. So this was internalized. This is internalized racism. He was completely racist. I mean, it was only the fact that I was half black that he wouldn't date me. It wasn't that he wasn't into me. So,
right, and then prior to it wasn't an issue.
Right. And so it's just this kind of stuff in the gay community. So I think my point is, I guess, one of the things I wanted to discuss was, I think a lot of gay men are just as racist as anyone else. And just because they're gay doesn't mean they're immune to being racist.
Listen, as a black guy, I have come across so many profiles. Cause at one point, I was on Match.com, and I was going through just various profiles like anyone else does on Match.com, and you'll be surprised how many people are just like, I'm not into blacks. No blacks here.
No blacks, no fats, no blacks, no fats, no femmes, or whatever.
That's what I was going to say. I listened to your show, Donovan, about labels and all those different types of things. Yes. I think it goes for the gay community a lot of different types of things, not just black or white. Well, I definitely agree with what you guys are saying, especially with this Huffington Post article that we're referring to. But when I was reading it, my just outside eyes reading this, looking in, I kind of think, because what he's alluding to is that, people automatically assume that he's super aggressive or he's a certain type of way just because he's a black man, and the people on these dating sites want to sexually profile him as that, and that's not what he is.
Right.
And, where does that stem from? Personally, thinking about it, I think a lot of that obviously has to do with the society, how we see black men, but also what's kind of drilled into our brains as we're young gay adolescents growing up trying to figure out ourselves. If you look, a lot of these, porn is very aggressive, especially when it comes to black men. It's very, dominant and
It's almost like as if they're raping them. I mean,
it
pretty
is.
much if you really think about it.
You know what it is? It's the Mandingo fantasy from the slave days,
Yeah.
when these slave women and people would have this fantasy about their slave guys and what they would do. I mean, I'm serious. This is the kind of, it's